Are you tired of repeating these running drills without seeing any real improvement in your running? Have you ever thought that these drills are not directly related to the way you run? Have you ever felt frustrated that no matter how much you practice these drills, you don't seem to be able to apply them to your running effectively? Well, you're not alone. In this video, I'm going to show you 4 drills that will really have a tangible impact on your running technique and therefore also your running speed. Forget about A skips, B skips, extended leg drills and other popular drills that everybody recommends rather blindly. These drills were mostly made for sprinters and will bring very little benefits to us distance runners, especially as older runners. And more importantly, they do not represent the way we run, I mean the real running motion. Now, the concept of drills still makes sense as a way to reinforce the neuromuscular connections involved in running, so your brain learns to recruit more of the muscle fibers involved in the running motion and learns to coordinate all the muscles in the exact and precise way to optimize your running stride and running economy. Because in your running stride, your muscles and muscle groups must work together in a sort of symphony where everything happens in 0.3 seconds. So now we're going to start from very simple to more complex drills, trying to stay as close as possible to the real running movement. So what I'm doing is I'm working on my ankles, ankle dorsiflexion and pushing into the ground with the toes. It's not like the common toe taps, which would be walking on your toes, just tapping. What I want here is more intention, like pushing into the ground. Really seek the contact with the ground and push. The purpose of this drill is to get a really solid foot and ankle to transmit the power from the ground to the rest of your body. So the weaker your foot, ankle, calves, quads and hips chain is, the more energy will be wasted. The next drill is more interesting, so let me show you first. What we want to focus on here is lifting the knee and hitting the ground with an active foot, hitting the ground vertically, slightly backwards, bouncing, so you should feel some sort of flying time in the other leg, then collecting the leg behind in a sort of round movement like this and repeat. Okay. Notice that this is not like the B skip, where the focus is on bringing your leg forward and then sort of scraping the ground backwards like this. Let me show you with the other leg, like this. That is not the purpose, because that's not the way we run. I want to hit the ground vertically, slightly backwards, and push into the ground, not scrape the ground, into the ground. And I want to bounce. Okay, I want to bounce like this. Now there is one interesting thing about the B skips though, which is that it's not the scraping, but it's when you bring your leg forward, you have to block the swing of the leg, because when you run, you bring your leg forward and then with the inertia it tends to swing forward, and we want to avoid that, otherwise you're gonna overstride. So your hamstring is the muscle that has to block the swing of the leg. So when you come here, it has to block, and this is where the hamstring works. And that is kind of the good thing for me of the B skip, where you have to block here and not go further. The next drill is about extending the leg backwards, because this is really how you generate power and you gain speed. Power and speed doesn't come from scratching the ground. It doesn't come from this, unless you're a sprinter. But if you're a distance runner, it comes more from backwards, pushing like this. Now pushing does not come from the glute so much, even though it's a big muscle. It's more about extending. So it's not the glute, it's not that movement, it's more extending the leg and pushing with the foot a little bit, but more extending the leg, so it comes mostly from the quads. Okay, so instead of this extended leg sort of drill that teaches you to scrape the ground and push backward with your glute, that's not the purpose. Instead, What we want is to push, extending your leg. Now again, work on one leg at a time. Make sure you bounce, make sure you feel the flying time in the other leg. Now watch out, this is not bounding like you would do to train for jumping, for like triple jump, for example, in athletics. It's not bounding like that. It's not bounding like that, but rather focus on pushing backwards. Okay, the next exercise is something I do usually at home as part of my warm-up routine, but it's also a good running drill. So get on your toes, and with the other leg just try to mimic the complete running movement. So lift your knee, leg driving down vertically into the ground, then try to push backwards, extend the leg as much as possible, collect it, stop the swinging motion here with your hamstring, and repeat. Okay, that's it. Do this like 15 times on each leg. The next drill is also static, so for that you need to find a bench or something similar, and we're gonna focus again on extending the leg and at the same time lifting the other leg like this. So push here, try to extend your foot if you can, try to not touch the ground, remain on one leg so you work on your balance at the same time. So it's like coordinating everything, the legs, both legs, the arm movement, arm swing. 10 or 15 of those on each side. Try to not lose your balance. Have fun. It's much more effective if you don't touch the ground, because then you really push forward. Because if you touch the ground, you tend to tilt forward, and that's not what we want. We want to really push and extend the leg here. So there you have them. These are my running drills. Now what you can do is put them all together and start running. So how much should you do? Well, don't go crazy. What I do is like 3-4 minutes every time before I start running. So after my warm-up and mobility routine, I do these drills basically and from my home until the end of the street. 3-4 minutes, but I do them every day. So if you add up, that adds up to about 20 minutes a week, which is not too bad. And I guess it's about the compounding effect in the end. So this is it for today. Let me know if you find any of these drills useful, if you have any other one you would like to suggest. And as always, in the meantime, if you're gonna run around, remember to look around. See you in the next one.